Yeah, hello, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the KV5. This is a Russian Tier 8 heavy tank, and the map is Sand River. I just purchased this tank today. It's actually my first game in the tank. It was an okay game. The KV5 is actually quite a powerful tank. It's obviously a very large tank. It's got great mobility and handling. It's easy to drive around. It's got a lot of hit points, 1,780. Great in terms of hit points. They're difficult to penetrate. I don't like to go up against these in the game. You know, being able to penetrate, T-26E4 is a very difficult tank to penetrate, and I was very happy to be able to get that penetration, even though there aren't going to be many more. Now basically I'm going to be in this location most of the game. I was a little bit pinned down because basically the enemy tanks did not leave. They stayed in their positions, I stayed in my positions. So it was a difficult match.
We can barely see through the scope. Target acquired.
And you can see that right now there's at least 4 enemy tanks in front of me, and I believe another one will show up.
We didn't even scratch
Or perhaps even 2 more.
Viewfinder back up. Visibility increased.
Now obviously I wasted a shot knocking down the wall, and it made absolutely no difference in the game. And for a rapid fire gun that has a lot of ammo, you can definitely do that, but for this type of a tank you really don't want to waste ammo knocking the wall down.
We didn't even scratch them.
So as you can see, the game was not that exciting, and I normally don't play in this position, but there were a lot of enemy tanks. No, I'm sorry. There were a lot of enemy tanks in the area, so normally I would advance forward. And they played smart, you know, they stayed behind cover as much as they could. Really wasn't expecting that in this game.
Enemy is hit.
So far I am happy with the KV5. I am glad that I got it. Because it's somewhat fast, especially on solid ground, it's a heavy tank. This is a tank you can chase down enemy tanks with. You can do a lot of ramming damage. I'm hoping to have a lot of good games with it. And I have a really good crew. My best crew is my Russian heavy tanks. I'm almost up to the 5th skill. KV4 is another tough tank. So that was a situation where I just decided to take a random shot. I have no idea if the tank was actually passing in front of my gun. And I was glad that the OI was there, but we weren't able to pull anything through in this game. You know, it's like I said, we were basically pinned down. As you can see, we're trading positions. We were pinned down the whole game. So I was very excited every time I saw an incoming shot that hit one of those tanks. You know, the allies of mine in the back made me very happy. There, he finally left.
Permission to engage.
So as you can see, there's another tank next to me. You really want to have good situational awareness. There's the FCM-50T right there.
I don't see the target.
And the FCM-50T, that's a great tank. However, the armor is not that great. It is fast, and I love playing the FCM-50T. Now, I'd like to point something out here. You're going to notice there's an FCM-50T in front of me, and there's a Type 59. And keep in mind that this is my first game in the KV5. Nothing special. I didn't get 100 kills, anything like that. The Type 59 is a rare tank, and there's two people that have the Type 59. You've got people that played a long time ago. I think it was actually for sale, and you could buy it. Anybody could buy it. So it could be a player who's been playing for a long time. The second type of person that has a Type 59 is someone who won some sort of a clan battle or other competition. So when you see a Type 59, besides the fact that it happens to be a very good tank, it's usually going to be owned by a good player. And there are people that say that the Type 59 is the best tank in the game, although it might be different now because a lot of new tanks have been released. And you're going to see that it's not going to be easy to kill a Type 59. You pretty much have to use premium rounds. Now there's another thing that I'd like to point out. People don't understand high explosive rounds. If you look at the front of my tank, you can't really see the side because the side is at an angle. So from the front, you don't see the side. However, with the Type 59, it's a little bit different. It's a rounded turret, and the armor is going to, for rounded turret tanks, the armor is often weaker on the sides. It's not always true. But from the front of the tank, you can actually see the side of the tank. And when you're in that situation, you can fire a high explosive round and hit the side of the tank and actually do damage that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do if you're aiming straight at the tank. So here's an example. He's a difficult tank to penetrate, and the side, which is right here on the left or right here on the right, which is where that star is a weak part of the armor, and the direct front is stronger. So if you have trouble penetrating it, I've had a lot of success firing high explosive rounds and aiming for the side of the tank. And the reason, and when I say the side, I mean the side of the turret. And the reason why is because a regular round is going to ricochet and a high explosive round will not. A high explosive round will cause damage. Wow, that was a lousy shot. Definitely going to be difficult to get those guys, but we are winning 9-4.
The loader is hit. He's moving slowly. We didn't penetrate their armor.
So you can see with that shot, I hit that tank right on the side. You can see a little white mark on that tank where I hit it. And it just ricocheted. But if it was a high explosive round, if it were a high explosive round, it would have caused damage. And of course, you also have to remember that different rounds have different velocities. So a high explosive round may have actually missed the tank. Now, in this type of situation, I had very low hit points. The Type 59 did kill me. It's easier for him to hit my tank. If you take a look at where my gun is, there's a lot of stuff to hit above the gun, such as the commander hatch, the gun turret, and the sides of the turret and the side front. So I'm an easier target for him to shoot at. What would have been a better strategy? We do have one artillery left in the game. We are winning 9-6. I don't have any allies in a position right now, but I should have probably let my artillery take some shots at that tank. You'll notice that there's only 2 enemy tanks spotted on the minimap, which means that there's a very good chance that the artillery is aiming at that tank. The other thing I should have done was I should have paid attention to the minimap to see if my allies were heading in that direction, because it looks like they are. If they were heading in that direction, I should have just laid back a little bit and let them do their work. Okay, so that's the KV5. I didn't get any kills. It wasn't the most amazing game. I probably did around 1,000 damage, just an estimate. It is a good tank. It's a premium tank. It's a Russian Tier 8 heavy tank. I do recommend it. It is, again, it's my first game, but from watching other people play it and having to go up against it in the game, I don't like going up against KV5s. So I'm sure it's going to end up being a good tank, and I'm sure I'm going to have some great games with it. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.